Hey friends, it's Maddie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a little bit of a different video, which I'm super excited about. We will be doing a cottage treehouse speed build and I'm super happy with how it turned out and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I usually don't do these types of videos. They're very out of my comfort zone, so any love would be super appreciated, whether it's in the form of likes, comments, whatever. Just show me the love. I'd really appreciate it. And I really appreciate your continued support as I figure out how to adult. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. So to start off our cottage treehouse, I had to naturally, well, I guess not so naturally, build our tree. So I planted us in a spruce forest. So I ended up using spruce wood and spruce leaves to make the tree so it would kind of match and fit in the forest. And so what you're gonna see throughout the video is me just kind of going back and adding and or fixing the existing tree. And that's because I just kind of wanted to keep it symmetrical and as tree looking as I could as the build progressed. So you're gonna see a lot of that, a lot of adjustments. I know that I wanted to do a little bit of a taller tree, and that was for the sake of space and making sure the tree still looked like a tree even with a building sticking out of it. So I was really trying to find a way to make it as natural and as least man-made as I possibly could. Honestly, I'll tell you right now that I had no idea it was gonna be this damn hard to make a tree in Minecraft. That's something they don't tell you about when you start playing, is how difficult it is to construct a tree by hand. Shit's hard. So eventually you'll be done making the tree and it'll look something a little bit like this. And the next step, at least for me, was to add the spruce leaves to the top. I tried to make it look like similar to the rest of the spruce trees around us, and they have very uniform leaf patterns. So I tried to do the same thing and make the leaves proportionate and really just make sure that the tree fit in the forest, because I think that's really important. And I also think it's important that the leaves, if you have too many, it'll look too top heavy. If you have too little, it'll look too bare. So I would just be constantly checking and fixing anywhere it needed to be to make sure that the tree fit in the forest. And honestly, by the end of it, I'd say, yeah. Fits pretty well. And this is the finished product of the tree. So I do make some more adjustments as we go on, and you will see that, and I already said that. Now we start kind of carving into the tree. I chose to kind of slice the tree in half and go from there because I wanted to control as much of the stump that I had left versus leaves. And obviously we can work around and adjust how we need to, which is what you'll see me do quite a bit. But yeah, I just really start off by carving literally into the middle of the tree. So I'm using spruce slab for the floor here. And I'm really trying to keep it in the spruce family. Just kind of shaving off the rest of the tree here and adding to it, of course. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of that. But really just getting the floor set and kind of figuring out how big the space I'm going to occupy will be. I really do enjoy building in Minecraft. I find it very therapeutic, but also very stressful at times. It is something I would love to really put more time into, such as for content creation like I'm doing now, but also just like starting to hone my skills and also practice and get a little bit more used to building more detailed builds and harder builds. I'm just really excited to start using my skills and learning more specifically. So I'm just continuing to expand the floor out a little bit, just kind of make it as symmetrical as I possibly can. At this point in the build, I was starting to notice that we were a little bit wonky on one side of the tree, which will make a wonky floor, but you'll see that we work around that as best as we can. So this is about the general layout of the tree house. This fence that I'm placing right now, I do get rid of very quickly. I did not like it. I also end up getting rid of these trunks that I'm laying down as well. Those definitely did not stay, although I did think it was a good idea, but it really just didn't fit into the vibe, and it looked a little too chunky for me. But you see, this is what Minecraft building is all about. You gotta do some trial and error. You gotta test to see if that works, and if it doesn't work, you get rid of it. I really struggled with this next part with just figuring out how to place the walls on this tree to still make it look like it's swiftly a part of the tree itself. And I really had a hard time figuring out how exactly to do that. So there is a lot of trial and error and a lot of just breaking blocks, getting rid of things, starting over. I cut most of it out, but now I'm just laying down the spruce slabs to finish out the floor before mapping out the rest of the walls and how I really want this room to come together. I'm starting to lay out a sort of frame with these spruce wood blocks and making sort of a skeletal room layout that also flushes perfectly with the rest of the tree so that the top doesn't look bigger than the bottom and vice versa. I want everything to look like it's all a part of one tree because that's what a treehouse is. So now I'm using spruce log, and I'm actually using the literal log part of it, which is that part that looks like it's not the bark. I'm using that as sort of like a textural feature on the walls because I really like the way it looks. I use this a lot. You can actually see me use this technique in my Jungle Oasis creative build, which I often stream on Twitch. So hey, if you're not following me, here's a good opportunity to do so. Yeah, I do use this technique a lot. I really like it. I just think it looks really cool. And now I'm starting to kind of carve out the rest of the room and start planning out where I want those windows, doors, any sort of other features like that. You'll see here that I start kind of chipping away at the ceiling of that first room, and I'm leaving the leaves intact. I'm actually adding a few more on too because we have changed the shape a bit of our treehouse, so I have to add to the leaves as we go about that. You'll notice that I'm also not breaking down any of the leaves from the inside of the room itself, the ones that are technically on the ceiling. And the reason I'm doing that is because, well, one, I have a plan, and you'll see that soon, but also because I want to keep as much of the natural leaves going as I can, given it is a treehouse and trees do in fact have leaves. I know, crazy. I'm adjusting the leaves on top because they were a little out of proportion. So I'm just trying to figure out what exactly works on this tree because it is a little wonky, like I said. So I'm just continuously adding to it, as you'll see. But that's really important because if you don't, then your leaves are going to be really weird. And honestly, it might just be harder to do it once the build's complete. But honestly, you probably know more than me. So you do you, boo-boo. And now I'm using some spruce fence to make some sort of pillar type things. They're a little skinnier than pillars, but I thought this looked really good and kind of looked a little daintier than just using those log pieces did. So I thought that was a good choice. And so I did end up leaving those. And now I'm just finishing off the rest of the walls here. Honestly, it probably took me about 45 minutes to figure this part out because just, I was trying to use the alternating logs versus using the actual sides of the bark. So I was trying to alternate it and make it look kind of cool, like a funky pattern. So it did take me a while to figure out exactly what I was looking for, but I think in the end, I got what I wanted. And the outside of our cottage tree house, the walls are up, the walls are complete, and next is just putting in some windows. So you can see I'm using some white stained glass. I really prefer using this glass versus just the standard clear glass because I don't know. I just think it looks, I like the look better. I think it looks a little crisper, clearer, and it kind of gave some cottagey vibes to this tree house, so I'm definitely not mad about it. I also began using some spruce stairs as sort of like a trim for the bottom of the treehouse. I think it added a really good kind of smooth texture to the build and kind of made everything effortlessly flow into one, which I think is really important in a Minecraft build because it's so easy to make things look kind of big and blocky. And while Minecraft is in fact a game made entirely of blocks, I must say the building concept in this game ideally is not the most blocky. Now I am making the staircase up into the treehouse itself, and I decided not to use spruce stairs. Instead, I used the spruce slab. I think that the slabs just look a lot cleaner than a staircase, and I thought that kind of fit the vibe better. Also, I can kind of spiral it around the tree, and honestly, I'm a sucker for a good spiral staircase, so we had to have it. So now we're gonna start working on the inside of the treehouse, which is undoubtedly my favorite part. I'm gonna start by tearing down some of the leaves on the ceiling, but not all of them. I wanna keep at least a little bit so that I can make a little room out of the remaining leaves up top. And ideally, make this a 2-story treehouse. So this is what we're working with for our main room of the cottage treehouse. It's pretty small and quaint. Now I'm adding some spruce fence to make a little bit of a railing there before adding our little ladder up to the 2nd story. Then I started working on the roof. So I chose to do spruce stairs for the roof because I was looking at a lot of reference photos and I noticed that using stairs for the roof kind of gave off more of a cottagey vibe. And I thought that was a great choice. There are a lot of great ways to make a roof, but I really found that using stairs can just totally diversify your roof. There are just so many things you can do with it. There are so many roofing techniques in Minecraft. It's mind-boggling. As I said before, I wanted to keep a lot of the natural leaves from the tree on the tree. And this includes when it comes to roofing as well. I really didn't want to overshadow the leaves. I didn't want to make it look like there were no leaves at all. I really wanted to highlight the shape of the tree and specifically the shape of the leaves. And I thought that using the stairs kind of helped me accomplish that. And you want to know what I thought would fit perfectly here that I'm sure you'll appreciate so much? Dun 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 dop a dot up doop a doop boop 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 a boop 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 a boop boop ba ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba ba da dee doop 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 ba doo ba da dee doop boop boop ba doo ba doom 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 dun 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 dun. That was the Mario music. Anywho, so now we are finally going up to the 2nd story to actually build a floor. Oh wait, no we're not. It's chimney time. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no clue how to build a damn chimney. I've never done it. This was on accident. I didn't even intend to have a chimney in this treehouse. Why would you have a chimney in a treehouse? You're literally in a tree. Like, wouldn't a fire in a treehouse set the tree on fire? I don't know. But I also have no idea what I'm doing here. So honestly, don't at me for this. It's a shitty chimney, but I needed a chimney. And honestly, the way I took some stone stairs and I finagled it. And honestly, I finagled it for probably an hour. And it didn't even come out that great. But I know that you use that technique with the campfire to make it look like there's smoke coming out of the chimney. So I know something. And I really do apologize for misleading you if I have done that, but I truly have no clue what I'm doing sometimes. And after many attempts, I finally figured out somewhat of a chimney, and it will stay like that because it's fine. And it just looks a little rustic. It's fine. You know, we love rustic here. We love it. Next, I'm doing my favorite part of any Minecraft build, and that is adding the lights. I love these lanterns. I really, really do. However, I just discovered that they have these things called end rods, and I much rather would have used those. But honestly, not for this build, because this is a cottagey build, and I feel like the lanterns really tie the cottagey vibes together. So I'm here for it. I was happy to do it, and I thought it came out really, really cute. So for some godforsaken reason, I decided not to film or lost the footage of me adding the trapdoors. So I actually used jungle trapdoors on the windows outside. And then I added some oak fence and some dark oak fence to the outside on the actual walls. And I thought it added some really cool texture. But I did not get the footage of me adding that, which I'm very, very, very upset about. But now we are actually working on the inside finally. So I added a little bit of like an eating area with some spruce stairs and a couple of smooth stone slabs to make a table. I added some white carpet for a little rug. I thought it all came out pretty cute. And then I proceeded to add some bookshelves around the upper edges of the walls, kind of covering a little bit of the natural leaf poking through. And then my squirrel brain kicked in. And then we are gonna go upstairs to that little second story bedroom. It's tiny, tiny as you can see, but I do add some white carpet to make it a little bit more of a room, but also keeping those leaves. And then I just add all the things you would need for a bedroom. Obviously, you build how you build. I chose to add a bed, a bedside table with a flower and a flower pot, a bookshelf, and a chest. And then I ended up adding some glow frames with a couple of cutie plants in there, which I always think is a good touch. And I even ended up putting some of those frames in the downstairs area with some different flowers as well. Next, I'm just adding some various lanterns, adding onto the little table area, adding a nice flower pot on there. And honestly, going back and watching this, I definitely wouldn't have put these barrels there. I completely neglected those bookshelves, putting those barrels up. And I honestly wish I hadn't done that. Now I'm just going in with some bone meal around the treehouse itself, just adding some more ferns and grass and flowers. I wanted to keep it natural to the biome itself, which is why I use bone meal. But honestly, you can do whatever you want. If you choose to do this, you put whatever flowers you want there. And now I'm just starting a path to the staircase. I just think this also adds a great touch, really realistic. I love using the shovels in Minecraft to make paths. And believe it or not, that is the outside of our cottage treehouse complete. When I tell you trust the process, I really mean it on this one. So without further ado, an official completed tour of our cottage treehouse. We have the entryway, our main living space, tiny. I hate those barrels. I was just trying to display our lovely space and then on to the second floor. A lovely little bedroom, nice and quaint, super cute, super tight space. Hope you're not claustrophobic. And that, my friends, is our lovely cottage treehouse, totally 100% completed. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. It was definitely out of my comfort zone to make, but I am so happy it came together how it did. I really think our cottage treehouse came out phenomenally. And honestly, I'm looking forward to doing more speed builds on YouTube, so let me know if that's something you would like. I am also a streamer on Twitch, so if you would like to check me out, here is my username. My link will be in the bio. I am back to streaming mostly full-time. My streams start at 2 p.m. Central Time, and my days vary, as do the games that I play, so I do hope that you'll come and check me out because we do have a lot of fun there. Be on the lookout for episode 7 of our Minecraft Hardcore Let's Play. I'm really excited about it. We've still got episodes coming out, so I do hope that you're as excited as I am for those. But that's all I've got today, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!